What's good, boys? Welcome back to the channel. On the road. All right, 6-hour road trip. Hitting up my hometown, shoot some nice pictures. Today I'm gonna be talking to you guys today about how to meet up with women on a short notice. Say if you're on a trip, you're only gonna be in town for a couple days. You don't have a whole month's or 2 or 3 weeks worth of texting to deal with to get a meet up. All right, most of you guys, it takes 2 or 3 weeks to meet up if you're lucky. So I'm gonna be teaching you guys how do you have meetups honestly within the first day you land in the new city or you drive and arrive in a new city. All right, almost to the point where you're checking into your hotel or your Airbnb with her. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Got guys getting good online. 2-week program, it's pretty good. Prices will go up pretty soon, so you'll make sure you lock in a free 30-minute coaching call with me so I can go over the details on it. You get the opportunity to ask me anything, what's going on in your dating life, any sort of sticking points you have, and I'll be really good at answering them. Experience is the best teacher, and I have a lot of experience. I also learn from the top guys who are performing really well, and that's the only knowledge I get. That's the only information I get my knowledge, put my knowledge together with. I don't just learn from anyone, and it's important for you guys to not learn from anyone. And you also want to have a critical thinking of your own. You don't want to just listen to someone and believe them just because they're famous or they got a lot of followers. You got to actually think for yourself and take a look at it based on your experience. Like, for example, a 6'5" white guy who's a millionaire is not going to understand or be able to teach a guy who's living in a small city who's like 5 foot minority race. You want to actually critically think on your own and see if his strategies or his mindsets would even apply to you, and take everything that's good from him and then apply your own. All right, same thing with my strategies. Make sure you critically think my strategies, see if my strategies make sense. Enough with the tangent. I'm going to teach you guys how to have meetups. What you want to do is you want to use an online app. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, those are the most popular, but you also have Raya coming out. That's becoming really popular. It's a very exclusive dating app for professionals. All right, and then you also have the Seeking, the whole league. All right, those are top tier, the hottest women. All right, but they're looking for millionaires. They're looking for guys who have their shit together. But I actually coach guys through how to get around that and break out of the sugar daddy frame, or break out of the, I'm gonna buy you all this stuff or take you to expensive dinners. More information on that in my mastermind, and I go over it a little bit in my 2-week program, because at the end of the program, I think it's on call number 3, I give you guys, a breakdown of the sites I want you to use, and I go in more in depth in how every site you should use them, and how to, use the algorithm on each of the sites. My most recent client, our last call is pending. He says he's so busy with all these dates that he got. All right, because he launched his profile about 4 days ago. And what I tell you guys is, try to schedule your last call within the 48 to 72 hours after the 3rd call, because, I have to go over stats with you and make sure your profile's at the top level. Anyways, you want to use these apps preferably about a week in advance. So say you got a trip to Atlanta. You want to use your Hinge and set your Hinge over there. Hinge is free, but Tinder, you got to pay for it. You can get the plus version for $5 a month. Bumble, you got to use travel mode. Bumble kind of sucks. I'm not going to be using Bumble. I don't plan to use Bumble in the next couple years to come. But the only thing with Bumble is they have travel mode, so chicks will see if you're in travel mode on it, and then they're gonna be like, oh, well, where are you traveling from? How long are you gonna be here? But with the Hinge and the Tinder, you can live there for all they know, because all it says is that's your location. Now, the thing with Tinder is tricky. I I realized you got to turn off your distance, because even though your location and you're able to swipe in that city, it'll still show you're like 1,000 miles away or 200 miles away. So you got to make sure you remember to turn off your distance when you set your location in another city. Now, after that, you just simply run the same scripts, treat them like regular matches, all right, and set up dates, preferably on the time that you're in town. All right, I had a guy who was super upfront and was like, hey, because he went to London, he's like, he was telling, you know, he got a bunch of matches, his profile was already put together really well. So he got all these matches come in, and he was just, you know, telling all the girls that, you know, he comes to London a lot and he's, you know, he's only going to be here for a certain amount of days. All right, it can be polarizing and it can set a sense of urgency. But some girls, if not most girls, will be kind of weirded out about it. Like, oh, this is a guy who's just touring. He's just trying to have a fun time. He just wants to sleep with me, you know. So for the girls who are just looking for a fun time, you're going to be a lot more polarizing. So that's the pro of it. But for the girls that are more like neutral, all right, and could be looking for something more meaningful, you're going to miss out on all those girls. So what I do is I don't bring it up, all right, and it just goes into your morals. It's up to you. But I have guys like lie completely and say, I just moved here, or I'm new to the city. So, I mean, on that point, you're gonna get most of the girls to be okay with meeting up with you. The more polarizing you are, the less girls you're gonna be able to meet up with, but the girls you do meet up with are gonna be a lot more screened out and they know what to expect. Most of them will be DTF, the ones that are polarized. So I've used a mix of both. It's up to you, and it's also up to your situation. But yeah, so you wanna do that, run the regular scripts, bang, bang, bang. That should wrap up today's video. Yeah, that's wrap up today's video. Make sure you guys check out the 5-day free course if you haven't yet. I will be taking it down pretty soon because guys are, you know, getting a lot of value-packed information on it, and I'm, you know, that information on there, you know, I can pretty much, you know, put into a product, so how much value is in it, and charge guys for it. So make sure you check it out soon before it's gone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Are you aware of emotional damage done to men when women flake on dates?
Last week I was in New York City for a day and a half, and I had literally 700 girls like my profile.
Swear to God on my father's ring, is a the men that want quality dating lives.
I just never could get close to the results I want.
Need you.
Birth rates in the United States tick down.
Instant overnight results.
I'd be matching with like almost like every other girl I swiped on.
You have to learn from someone who have a shit ton of experience. You can meet a lot of chicks, start a romantic story.
Your text game is very effective and straightforward.
This is all you are going to see.
Your approach compared to other dating coaches.
All these other dating coaches, bro, they're not changing anything.
Compared to the quality of matches I'm getting now. So KT knows what he's doing.
Dude, the quality of girls I see out nowadays, you're not going to be getting the same quality of girls that you're getting on these apps.
Who else is doing this?
I really recommend this program.
You are damn near curing the problem.
Because I have such high quality options.
Really heavy-duty intelligence is not going to be distributed all over the place. It'll be in a limited number of server centers, like very sort of deep AI.